Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad to hear this morning. We had a great show lined up, some special guests here, some really good information, and you're going to just really enjoy today's show. But first, let's take care of our weather. It's warm. It's getting up to 81 today. The low's going to be 63, but getting back to what I always harp on, this water temperature. Remember yesterday it said 72 degrees, wow. Well, today, 72 degrees, wow. It is up there, and that's really the highest we've had this whole season, so be aware of that as you get ready to do some surf fishing or just going out in your boat. It's going to be a warm current of water. River readings. Apalachicola, Bluntstown, right under 20 foot, right at 19.1, and it got a little fall to it, so we're falling by this angle right here, so it's going to be in good shape for the weekend. The Choctaw at Caryville is falling out really good too. It's not a steep fall, it's real steady, and they're reading this morning at a 8.7. So both of them going down, both rivers going down. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery, right on 23rd Street. We're looking at the southeast at about 13 on the weather, but the tide is a good strong tide today. We got a morning tide, and it's coming in really strong. But look at next week's tide chart. It's flat, calm the whole week. So if you want some tidal fishing, you got to do it this week or this weekend. Okay, let's go and take our break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back and welcome to our guest, Paul Winterman, Outdoor and Wildlife Photography. Good morning.
Hey, Coach.
Good to have you again.
Good to be here.
Moser alumni, I'm going to put that in early now, but we'll go. Good ball player and all that. Now, who'd you bring with you this morning?
This is my wife, Julie.
Good morning.
Good morning, Julie. Julie was a little shy now, but she I told her she didn't talk, she's going to have to sing, so she'll be talking a little bit. Paul, we get your pictures, and you do this as a business.
Yes.
You've been, not as a hobby, and we have a lot of hobbyists out there to do it, which is fine, and get some great feedback from them. But give us your background and all. You've got we're going to show some amazing pictures. Okay.
Well, with the wildlife photography, I've been doing it about 25 years. Mm-hmm. Got started because I was archery hunting in Colorado and just looking at the beautiful scenery and the wildlife, and just actually packed up and bought equipment and took off for 3 months out west and just backpacked in the mountains and been doing it ever since.
You fell in love with it, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And talk about outdoors, how it affects you and all. It has a grasp on you, and out there, I guess you just had that wild, vast, expansive area to go from, didn't you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Colorado, I backpack in sometimes 15 miles, and you just camp out. It's very wide open, vast areas. It's beautiful.
I know you got so many stories and all, and then you started up, and we've had different shows and all. You do different shows and all. You used to do shows, I remember.
Yep.
And how did you? This is interesting. How did you market your pictures and all to start with? People just fell in love with them, or?
Yeah, we had galleries around the country. I had a gallery in Maine for I don't know, about 7 years that my sister was running. And then we were selling in Colorado, Tennessee. We have a website. And then I do a lot of competitions. Like I've had pictures were published in National Geographic.
Wow.
And then we were doing faces and facets for years and years and years.
Folks, when you get a photograph in National Geographic, that's special.
Yeah, it is.
Not best in the country, that's the best in the world.
And there's millions and millions of entries weekly for National Geographic, so yeah.
And how many people have not looked at National Geographic in just pure awe at the nature of photography and all?
And we're also doing we got 2 different stock photography companies that we're selling through too. So for magazines, and they do all the advertising and selling for us. Of course, there's not a whole lot of money in it, but.
What a passion.
Get it out there.
Yeah.
Do you, Okay, tell me your role. I know I've already seen how important you are this morning. She's important.
Hey, I carry things for them.
She's also following me video, and now
Yeah,
we're going to do a lot more video, and
Okay.
we're going to have a blog page on our website. It's called The Nikon Man, which is I'm known for all around the country.
Now, who are some of your sponsors? I mean,
Don't really have any sponsors. I did a class on outdoor photography techniques for Nikon, and we did the wrap because of that on our vehicle.
so you're known as a Nikon man
Yep.
in the circles of the photographers?
Well, and when we're archery hunting in Kentucky, Illinois, I mean, we would run into people all over the country that say, "Hey, there's the Nikon Man." They'll stop
So
and talk
yeah,
to
Okay.
them.
so we went with that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. We're going to talk about your equipment and all a little bit later. When you're going out, do you have a game plan? I know you play ball and all that kind of stuff. Do you have a game plan when you're going on a trip? Exactly what you want to do? You just sort of let things happen. How do y'all do that?
A lot of things we follow, like when the rut's happening. We'll go to the Smoky Mountains to follow the whitetails,
Okay.
which is like December. When we're out west, if the elk are bugling, which is late August, September, we'll follow the elk herds. Like this year, we're getting ready to go to Alaska. We're going to be in Alaska for 2 months. We're driving, going to head out west, driving all the way to Alaska. I want to do the salmon run, catching the grizzly bears and eagles.
When he
catching salmon.
told me that this morning, I said, "What are y'all going to do next?" He said, "Driving to Alaska, not flying now, driving
Driving.
to Alaska." I mean, I would absolutely love doing that kind of stuff.
It's going to be the trip of a lifetime.
You're going to take your time too, aren't you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where are some of the places you want to stop along the way?
Well, obviously we're going to. One of our favorite places is Glacier National Park in Montana on the
Yes.
Canadian border. That place is phenomenal, and you have bighorn sheep and mountain goats and moose, and plus the scenery is phenomenal.
Yes.
And we hadn't been in Canada yet, so we're going to go through Banff National Park, which I guess is part of Glacier. It's just on the Canadian side.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to take our time going through Canada. When we started looking at it, there are so many national parks there. It's just
Yeah. Well, a glacier's on my bucket list.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Everybody said that. I sort of want to go there. How long do you think it'd take you to get to Alaska? You got a time frame? Or?
well, I want to be there June 1st.
Okay.
So we're going to be in Alaska June and July.
Okay.
And then it's time to head out before the weather starts turning.
That is cool. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and look at some of these photographs that he's taken. So we'll be right back. All right, welcome back here, Paul and Judy Whitterman, actually professional outdoor photographers. We're just honored to have you on this morning. It's just exciting. And Paul, I've known you since you were a young man, and you played ball at Mosley and all that. So glad to see you doing what your heart wants you to do.
Thank you, Coach.
That really is. Real quick, I know y'all hear storm damage. Y'all had some storm damage too, like everybody else.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was pretty devastating. We lost our house, roof came off, walls were gone.
Wow.
So we were totally destroyed, but living in a fifth wheel like a lot of people are.
Still living in the fifth wheel.
Yeah.
Still living in
Well,
it.
Yep.
well, we hear that story over and over, and we'll hope things get back to normal soon. You're
Thank
moving
you.
out of Southport, that's my neighborhood.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right, all right, good deal. All right, and y'all have had y'all worked with Walter and Wendy when they were doing cast and call a little
Yeah.
bit. Y'all done some work with them a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah,
so
we've gone out with them a few times. And
that's cool. All right, we're going to start scrolling some. We've got, and you go on the webpage, it's Paul Winterman Outdoor and Wildlife Photography.
Yeah.
And we've got the page right here. We're going to just show you, some of these photographs are just amazing. We're going to scroll through them. So, Paul, you'll tell us about them as we scroll through them. How did this first one pop up? What is that?
that is a water wheel. It's at Cates Cove in Smoky Mountains in Tennessee.
And that's a cool place, isn't it?
Yes, it
We'll
is.
just scroll through them. I remember I showed this a couple of times.
Yeah, that's also Cates Cove.
That was in Case Cove. How did you get him jumping like that? You tell him when to jump? Or?
Yeah.
That's my job now.
A lot of it, we go there during the rut in December, and a lot of times you watch does, and when they're running, get set up where they're going to be crossing out, and a buck's going to eventually be coming along following them. So.
Are you just clicking away when that happens? You just click, click,
Oh, yeah,
click?
yeah. I actually got a sequence of 7 pictures of it going all the way over the fence.
Click, 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 click. I think I remember seeing that. And where is this?
That is in Colorado. It's aspen trees.
That's cool. And tell us about this one.
That is in Yellowstone National Park. Again, during the rut for the buffalo.
Wow.
That's Colorado Rocky Mountain National Park.
Oh, man. I guess also you just sit in awe. Look at that view.
Yeah, we finally, not this last year, the year before, we did Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And we had never been out there, and we actually hiked all the way down to the bottom of it and back up in one day.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got started a little late, and it was 90 degrees, almost 100 degrees. So it was pretty grueling
Our
night.
first major hike. It was.
How'd you feel about that, Julie? Did you
I
get
thought I was
tired?
going to die, but I made it.
You thought you were going to die? Okay, we got another one up here. Check this one out.
That's a baby mountain goat in Glacier National Park. It's actually right there on a glacier. I took pictures of them walking across.
You ever look at these animals, you said, wonder what they're thinking when they're doing, having a look at their face. What are you thinking about doing?
Yes.
That is in UP.
Upper Peninsula in Michigan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Picture
Upper
Rocks area.
Peninsula. Now listen, this is a grizzly.
Yep, that's
Now,
in Wyoming.
How close are you to this grizzly?
Probably about 40 yards.
And Paul, those things could be dangerous. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're a hunter.
I've had to tell her to back up a few times. She gets wrapped up in videoing, and we had
Yeah.
grizzlies last year that were coming pretty close.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all be careful. All right? Oh, look at that color.
Yeah, that's the aspen trees in Colorado.
Almost, that's got to be beautiful in person. All right.
That's at Crooked Island Sound.
Crooked Island Sound. You jumping back to closer to that Crooked Island.
Yep.
And I guess, are you laying down and getting down low on this?
Oh,
picture?
yeah.
You got,
Pretty much everything I take pictures of, if it's wildlife, that's one of the ways you get really good pictures.
yeah, I
is-
wanted to mention that real quick about how I've seen your body's all contorted sometimes. You don't just sit here and click.
No.
You move around, don't you?
Yeah, and we follow a lot of wildlife. Sometimes we baby bears with mama bear, black bears like in Cades Cove. We're following them for. We had one set 3 days for 4 or 5 hours at a time and just stay with them. And
See, that's the thing I wanted to get across is what he just said. The amount of time,
Patience.
patience, and like
Yes.
3 days where you're following that mama bear and the cubs, just following them.
yep, we do that with elk herds and pretty much all the wildlife. It's not pull off the side of the road and
You
take
take
pictures.
your food, or what? I mean, you just have to go back camp and then go back, and you just know where they are.
A lot of times we carry MREs with us, and
Is that right?
yeah, depending on how long the hike is. I mean, because most of them are pretty much daylight to dark when we're
Wow.
out there hiking.
Just to get those pictures, and that's what I'm talking about—the passion and dedication of a photographer like these folks have, and that's what I admire about that. Let's look at some more. What about this one right here?
That's actually St. Andrew State Park at the
I was
Jetties.
thinking that was snow. Okay,
That's sand.
that's sand, and right here at the state park.
Yeah.
Now, what were they doing?
Fighting, playing. And that's one of the things with wildlife photography. You got to stay with them and where they're interacting with each other and being natural rather than just walking up and you click a few pictures. So it's a lot of fun to watch them in their environment.
That's what most of us are going to do if an opportunity presents itself. We're going to put our phone, click, and put it back in. But
Yeah.
this is the difference between the amateur and professional. What y'all do? All right, right here.
Yeah, it's Rocky Mountain National Park.
Well, he's herding in all his
Cows, yeah.
Yeah.
during the
Ooh, that's cool.
That's Arches National Park. That's a beautiful area too.
Okay.
That is in Silver Springs, Ocala.
Okay.
We take trips down there usually about February, and they have the wild monkeys that are all along the river, and we do a lot of photography.
You know, we don't know, a lot of folks don't know, but they actually have the wild monkey down there that escaped years ago, and they're wild. Have you got pictures of them?
Yeah, there's pictures on there of them somewhere.
somewhere. The Reese's monkeys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
That's Elk Bugling, and that's Colorado, Rocky Mountain National Park.
And that sound, isn't that sound sort of majestic sounding?
Yes.
Next time, try to record that and send that back to me.
We actually have a lot of videos of
Do
them
you?
bugling and chasing, and yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get some to you.
And we've already talked about this. When they're driving to Alaska, they're going to take pictures along the way. We're going to keep up with their trip going to Alaska, and it's going to be really cool because they're going to be sending it back and forth. And so we're going to follow y'all, okay, to Alaska, and we're going to live.
That's Glacier.
Glacier, yeah.
All right.
That's St. Andrews State Park.
Well, a lot of opportunities locally, aren't they?
Oh yeah. St. Andrews actually is a phenomenal place to take pictures at.
And also, I get pictures from folks going down to St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. A lot of Tallahassee folks going down. Okay, we're going to take our final break. We'll be right back with Paul and Judy. Welcome back. Paul Winterman, Wildlife and Outdoor Photography, a professional business, and they've been doing this how many years?
25.
25 years, long as we've been doing Panhandle Outdoors. 25 years, so to do it that long in this kind of business, you know how good you have to be. And to be published in National Geographic, I think that's amazing. Let's take a quick look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at 8:42 to 10:42 this morning, and 9:07 to 11:07 tonight. So before we get back into the pictures, we're going to talk about your equipment. Now this is not your grandmama's Kodak you have. Tell us about this camera right here. This is amazing.
Well, I shoot Nikon equipment. I'm the Nikon man.
The Nikon man, okay.
This is a Nikon D4, 16 megapixel. It's majorly for wildlife photography, 12 frames per second, so it's extremely fast. And this camera body was $6,500 when I got it. And then I'm shooting 2 to 500 lens.
Wow.
I've also got a Scenic set up that I'm shooting a D850 with a Scenic lens, and then I've got went mirrorless, so I've got a mirrorless camera I just bought that we're going to try out on the trip.
Okay.
And it shoots actually 12 frames per second. So
wow.
I've got 3 different setups, so I don't have to change out lenses, which I don't like to do when you're outdoors because bugs get in. It just keeps your equipment cleaner.
Hey, I can see a little mosquito getting in there. And you're trying to. And listen, now, the importance of having a good tripod and all. How do you put it? How important is that?
I actually use the tripod more for scenic stuff.
Okay.
With the wildlife, I have a tendency. Well, this lens has vibration reduction on it.
Okay.
So you can hand hold it and get good quality pictures. The deer jumping the fence, that was all handheld.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
So because of technology, it's a lot easier to shoot handheld.
Okay.
With scenic stuff, you pretty much have to have it rock steady. And I usually do bursts of like 5 pictures at different apertures.
Okay.
So you get the best picture that you possibly can.
All right, for our viewers out there, we have a lot of amateur photographers that just love doing it and do good quality work. But if you give them some tips and all, and tell them what would improve their photography, what are some just things generally you would tell them to do?
Well, with wildlife is getting low. So you're not looking down on the animal, you're actually looking up. It makes them look bigger and more impressive, and it's just a better picture.
That's a good point. I like making a fish look bigger.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other thing is, getting close. But again, you have to be careful because you're dealing with wildlife. So there's a fine line where you got to pay attention to.
I think about that grizzly bear now. That scares me.
Well, we haven't had any problems.
Now
we got attacked by a moose one time.
You got attacked by a moose?
Yeah, it was. Well, actually, when we got out there was 2 different ladies walking their dogs that got stomped almost to death.
In Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, in Rocky Mountain. And we were taking pictures of a mom and baby moose. Well, they were in the campground. I took a couple of pictures of fox come around a cabin, and they all stood up and bristled up. And I kind of walked away. I was talking to some guys at campfire. Here come the fox around. I was like, okay, I'm going to follow the fox. I'll talk to you guys in a minute. I walk over, I lay down on the ground, I'm shooting pictures. The moose were actually about 100 yards away. All of a sudden I hear bloom, 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 bloom. I look up and she is probably 1,500-pound moose coming at me. And I take off running, I duck around a tree. And I actually jumped over these guys' campfire. And the moose stopped at the back of their vehicle and was staring at us, and they jump up and were like, oh, did this really just happen?
Whoa.
But then it come after her. She was in a laundromat in the campground, And,
they knew you were the wife. So
Yeah, I know. We can't get him. We're going to get me.
well, for some reason, I guess the fox had it all fired up, and the people that owned the campground, they had dogs, and they couldn't go out because it run at them, chased them back inside.
That's all the adventures and all. Now listen, you have some safety. You have some safety precautions, right? And all if you have to.
I'm usually carrying, plus we carry pepper spray.
Okay, good deal. All right, I feel better now.
Yep.
Okay, we got a few more. We got a few more minutes. Let's look at some more big pictures. And Jeff was just talking about this one.
That is actually in Bear Creek up 231. It's
At the cat place up there.
the
Yeah.
rescue facility.
Oh man.
Jim brought us.
Yeah. So this is not this is not wild.
Now that's probably the only picture we got on there. That's
In captivity.
Well, now look, he's feeding. What
that actually is a mating ritual.
I thought he's taking some food.
Yeah, it's a lease term, but the male gets up on the back of the female and offers it a fish, and if it takes it, then she's
about that?
accepting him as a mate. So
Nature's amazing. Isn't
yeah,
it?
it is pretty fascinating. That's St. Andrews State Park too.
Okay. And
Those are the monkeys.
okay.
Yeah, that's the rhesus monkeys in Ocala, Florida, on the Silver River.
And you go down there in February.
Yeah, that's usually when we try to make it.
That looks like an old gobbler there.
Yeah, that's in Cades Cove.
Okay. That's great pictures and all. Now where was this?
That's in Montana, Glacier National
He's
Park.
just been all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got a minute left. The future plans of going to Alaska for a while. After Alaska, what do you got?
Well, coming back, we're going to come back through Glacier, and then we're headed to
Go through
Washington State, and we're going to try to hit Redwood Forest, and we hadn't been that far
Okay.
west.
And y'all gonna keep in touch with us, and we're gonna sort of go follow you all and send us pictures
Absolutely.
and all, and vicariously we'll live through them and all these trips and all. And I want to just commend y'all on doing what you love to do. And,
It's fun.
This is cool, and we're glad y'all come on. And when you get back from Alaska, just come back on and tell us about that trip.
Okay.
And
Absolutely.
wish you the best. And you can go to the website, look on Paul Winterman. All of these are just great pictures. Paul Winterman Outdoor Photography and Wildlife Photography. Thank y'all.
Okay. Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. We appreciate the viewership. Another great show tomorrow. It's going to be hard to beat this one now, but y'all do something good today for your fellow man. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.